page 93, just to give it some setting. You know, the book is set in Port Harcourt in the mid-90s, and it's about a family. Um, the children are called Paul, Bibi, and Ajay, and Paul, who is the oldest, uh, leaves the house and does not come back. Much of the story is seen through the youngest, Ajay's perspective, where he sort of talks about what happens, and basically talks about their life. So here's a scene where the children are just having an ordinary afternoon, and because it's about childhood, there's a lot of sibling rivalry, and so yeah. When he returned to the parlor, Bibi had put aside the newspaper that When he returned to the parlor, Bibi had put aside a newspaper and was reading a shoddily printed copy of a Fru that they had found while rummaging through Fola's garage and were now taking turns reading by order of seniority. When are you going to finish the book? Ajay asked Bibi. Just about 5 pages left. Bibi thumbed through what was left of the book. It's so interesting. Should I tell you the story? No. You can be so grumpy sometimes. Why? I don't want to hear, Ajay said, and then threw the second ice cube into his mouth and began to crunch it. Bibi couldn't help us. Bibi couldn't hold herself back. It's about this marvelous Uputa woman. Oh, I really like her. She was very beautiful and loved by her husband, but she was barren. Her mother-in-law didn't want her. You're just looking for trouble, Paul said to Bibi. But it's not as if I'm going to spoil it for him. It's so tragic, Bibi purred and sank back into the sofa. Okay, I'll just say this one thing and leave it there. I think someone dies at the end. Ajay looked at her. He would refuse to read the book just to spite her. He would fling it back at her and tell her to return it, since he didn't want to read it anymore. He imagined she would feel something as sharp as pity mixed with guilt, and she would try to make it up to him somehow, but he wouldn't give her the chance. Do you know, Bibi was already talking to Paul, do you know that in France, crimes of passion are forgiven? I read something like that in one of Benedict's journals. There was a woman who killed her husband with a fork during an argument, and she wasn't jailed for murder. Temporary insanity, Paul said. But it depends on the circumstance and on many other things. Port Harcourt is not Paris. Ajay picked at Bibi. True. Nigeria is not France, like Gandhi made his point. Bibi threw him a glance and held his gaze for a moment. Can't you stop being annoying sometimes? Ajay yawned. Years later, each time he heard crime of passion, he would think of a woman in Paris with a fork in her hand. But more than that, he would think of the woman in a story Ma, which the mother, had told them. A story that sounded like it happened in the olden days, but which Ma said only took place after the war. She said she knew the family and that after the tragic event, a ballad was composed that spread through all of Oberland and didn't go out of season for many, many years. There was this woman from Erema who would leave her husband and move in with a man whose house was on the farther side of the same village. As was the custom, leaving your husband in that way was an accepted, if reproachable way for a woman to initiate divorce. After that, an amicable settlement would be reached and the legal aspect of ending marriage went back to him. This woman would leave her husband and stay with the second man for many days, sometimes a whole year. And each time her husband would go to her people to plead with her to return to him. He would put pressure on her and she would return to her husband, but soon after the affair would resume. Her husband sent emissaries to beg the man to leave his wife alone, but nothing changed. One day, the husband took a machete and chopped off the head of his wife's lover. Then he carried the head and walked the whole length of the village, and each time he met someone, he asked, "This thing I've done, is it good or is it bad?" And the person would answer, "It's right, what you've done, it's good." And when he reached the end of the village, he killed himself, exactly what was expected of a man who had taken the life of another. The woman named her the love woman. The children named her the love woman. Even though Ma never mentioned the word love, Ma always rendered the account in a few sentences, just as it had happened. She seemed to be in awe of the story each time she told it, as if saying to her children, this is something that has happened in the world. This is what can happen in the world. It was Benedict, their father, who called it a costly affair. It was Benedict who once said with a sigh, desire is blind. It was also Benedict who wondered aloud about which was the worst punishment for their affair. To be the one beheaded, or to be the one who survived to live through the aftermath.